I've helped hundreds of property investors build profitable portfolios, and the same question always comes up. Is now a good time to invest in property, or should I wait until prices drop lower? With all the mixed headlines, people don't know whether waiting is smart or if they're missing out on rent and long-term growth. So in this video, I'm going to show you what's actually happening in the market and how to decide whether you should invest now or wait longer. To start, let me show you the biggest misunderstanding about housing prices that could cost you thousands of pounds. So on the surface, UK house prices don't look like they've done much at all. They've kind of been flat, and that's why a lot of people assume that the safest thing to do is wait. Because if you look at the official data, prices are only up around 2.6% year on year to September 2025. In fact, in some months, prices have even slipped slightly. So it doesn't sound like a crash, and it's not exactly strong growth either, especially when you compare it to inflation and previous years. But this is where it gets interesting. When you zoom out from the national headlines and start looking region by region, the picture changes. In places like Westminster, prices are down by around 14% year on year. That's a real correction, especially in prime London. But then on the other hand, if you look at Liverpool, for example, prices are up 9% over the same period. So what's actually happened isn't one big dramatic crash. It's been a quiet correction happening unevenly across the country. Some areas have declined in price whilst others are still rising, and that's why waiting for one big headline saying prices have dropped everywhere at once can end up costing you a lot of money. So instead of just waiting and potentially waiting for years, here's how to actually take advantage of price drops when they happen. What you want to do is ignore the headlines, go on Rightmove and check what similar houses nearby have actually sold for. When prices feel flat but everything else costs more, that's when buyers tend to have more room to negotiate a discount. But the next thing I'm going to show you will help you decide whether to move forward without trying to predict the market. So in 2021, during the pandemic, when everyone was convinced that the market was about to crash, I kept hearing the same advice. Wait, prices are going to fall. You'll get a better deal. Wait. And that's the exact position most beginners are in, worried that buying now means they could get it wrong. If I waited and nothing happened, I'd lose time and money. But if I rushed in blindly, I could have locked myself into a bad deal and potentially lost money. Anyways, instead of trying to guess the market, I focused on the deal in front of me. I bought this property for £48,000, spent about £6,000 on the refurb, and all in, I had roughly spent £54,600 into the deal. But 2 years later, when I went to refinance the property in 2023, it got valued at £80,000. So in 2 years, I made over £25,000 in the property going up. I've had £6,000 in cash flow, and that income I would have completely missed if I had waited. The only reason I bought the property was because the rent covered all the costs, it was cash flowing from day one, and the numbers worked then, not based on the future. And it wasn't just one property. During the pandemic, I bought 4 properties using the same thinking. When you add the uplift and the cash flow across those deals, you're talking well over £100,000. I didn't win by timing the market. I won by buying deals that worked at the time. The reality is, timing the market is a fool's game because it's driven by headlines, fear, and predictions you can't even control. What is controllable is whether a deal stands on its own 2 feet. So how do you figure out whether a deal makes sense for you? For me, I keep it simple. When trying to analyze a deal, I really only care about 2 things: return on investment and cash flow. Let me show you what I mean. So let's say you're buying a property at £100,000. You spend £15,000 on the refurb, then £10,000 on the stamp duty, legal fees, and everything else, so your other costs. So all in all, you've put £125,000 into the deal. Now let's say once it's done up, the property is now worth £145,000. That's a £20,000 uplift. So your return on investment is simple. £20,000 uplift divided by the original £125,000. So that's roughly a 16% return on investment before you even think about rent. This deal already tells me that the deal makes sense from a growth point of view. Now let's look at cash flow. Say the rent is £900 a month and your total monthly costs, your mortgage, management, maintenance comes to £700. That's a £200 cash flow per month that you're getting in your pocket after you take the rent and deduct all your costs. So now if you look at it, this deal is growing in value. It's paying me every month. When you buy like this, timing matters a lot less. Even if prices go nowhere for a while, you're still making money. And that's why focusing on the deal always beats trying to time the market. So the next thing I want to show you is what actually catches most beginners out and how to avoid making the wrong move either way. I always think about buying property like sitting at traffic lights. Some people go full speed on amber. They rush in, they don't check the road, and that's how you end up with a bad deal. But then there are other people at the other end. They sit there waiting for the perfect green light. No cars, no risk, and what happens? The light turns green, everyone moves at once, the traffic starts to build, and suddenly it's harder to get through. Property works the same way. If you wait too long and the market starts picking up, more buyers jump in, sellers stop negotiating, and you miss months, sometimes years of income. You have to make sure the deal stacks up. So how do you do that? The first thing you want to check is, does the rent cover the costs today? That includes your mortgage, management fees, and a buffer. If it works now, you're not relying on the market. Then ask yourself, can you negotiate or is it a bidding war? If you're seeing bidding wars all the time, that just means the market is hot and maybe you should step back. And then the final thing is, are you buying with logic and not emotion? Buying with logic means the numbers work and the risks are thought through. This isn't about rushing in or waiting forever. It's about only moving when these 3 boxes are ticked, as I did during the pandemic. But whichever route you take, there's one thing that matters more than timing, and it's what helps you avoid mistakes and make more money. So when I started my property journey, I thought I had to do everything myself. I thought I needed to understand mortgages, refurbs, legal stuff, all of it, and somehow not to mess any of it up. So I tried, and the result was that I lost money on my first property, I lost money on my second property, and the third then was slightly better. And at the time, I kept asking the same question most beginners ask. Oh, was my timing wrong? Did I buy in a bad market? Looking back now, timing wasn't the problem at all. The real problem was that I made every decision on my own, and when you do that with limited experience, mistakes are almost guaranteed. If you think about it, when you get on a plane, you don't need to know how to fly it. You don't need to understand the engine. You don't even need to know the route. You just need a plane ticket, a qualified pilot, and a safe aeroplane. Properties are different. You don't need to be the expert. You just need the right people around you. Once I stopped trying to do everything myself and having the right support system, that's exactly what changed things for me. So my advice is always the same. If you want to get into property, make sure you've got the right people in place. A good builder, a broker, a solicitor, and an accountant at minimum. So now you know what's happening with house prices and why trying to time the market doesn't work. And if you want to see how you can buy multiple properties using the same pot of cash without draining your savings, I'll show you how I'd invest with £50,000 in this video. So I'll see you over there.